what we're trying to do is we're trying to set the table for continued economic growth for Ontario. We're looking at how do we make sure that we're in a position when the economic downturn comes, and there will be one. You can't kid yourself. We've had 9 years now, almost 10 years, of economic prosperity in Ontario. We're going to come to a point where we have an economic downturn. So how do we position Ontario in a place where when that comes, we can survive, we can come through without too much harm, and most of Ontario gets to thrive, even during an economic downturn. That's really what we're going to be focusing on, is the economics for this province.
And job creation then, industry, stimulating the economy, job creation, infrastructure, are those the kinds of things that are working their way to the top of the agenda?
Yeah, they all work together. So if we look at it, if you reduce the amount of government interference that there is in jobs, and you have more jobs coming into the province, then you have the economic upturn on that. More people working means that there's more money flowing back into the economy. Then when you get that rough spot, if there were more people who were working who were able to save, then when you have that downturn for 6 months or a year, you're not in a position where people are looking at, how do I cover my mortgage payment, or am I going to lose my house, or am I not going to be able to buy Christmas presents for my kids this year? You're not in that position because people have been in a better position financially for a longer sustained period of time.
So how does that affect when we're dealing with things like the labor unrest in the education system? Is it because that portfolio is seeing some of these early indicators and want to get in, when the going is good?
If you take a look at how the economy has gone in Ontario completely, we've had a bit of an upturn right now. Things are looking good there, but again, if you look historically, it's about 7 years from the time that you have an upturn to a downturn. We're into year 9 of it, so we have to be very cautious on it. When we talk about labor unrest in the education sector itself, one of the things that we have to keep in mind here is that the average family income in Peterborough-Kawartha is $62,000, just over $62,000 a year. The average teacher salary is $82,000. So if you had 2 teachers in the family, you're looking at $164,000, whereas the average person in this area is making almost half of that. How do we square that circle? How do we make sure that those who are paying the taxes aren't being overburdened? The total amount of money that is spent on public service right now in Ontario is about $72 billion. So 1% increase in salaries represents $700 million.
Oh, I know, big numbers.
Very big numbers. We need to find a balance then on how we move forward over the next couple of years.